Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for the masterclass. We will get started in just a moment. And as you're joining, a couple things, please make sure that your chat is set to panelists and attendees. So there's a little blue drop down and it'll probably default to panelists only, but make sure it's set to both so that we can all see each other's responses. And after you do that, please share in the chat where you are joining us from, what your business is, and your name. Most of the time your name pops up anyway, but just in case. So do that and we'll get rolling in just a moment. I just want to give everyone a chance to join us right here at the top of the webinar. Can everyone hear me all right? Just pop a little yes in the chat. I want to make sure the audio sounds okay. Oh, good. All right, I see some names come through. Yes, yay, okay, perfect. Fantastic. All right, bear with me. I've got like 15 different screens up on my desktop here. Got my notes and our slides and Zoom and all the things. All right, let's see who's with us. We've got Michelle from Soft Baby in NYC, an organic baby clothes company. Oh, how cool. That's awesome. Let's see who else. We've got Amy. Hey, Amy, good to see you. Joining from Ontario, Canada. She has a yoga business and Airbnb. So good to see you here, Amy. Angel's here. Hello, I made it. Yay, you did make it. That's awesome. Angel's from Illinois. I'm a caregiver and my business is about self-care. Fantastic. And Melissa's here. Aloha from Oahu. Ooh, good for you. It's cold and chilly where I am. Melissa is a mom, health coach, full spectrum doula, neat, and massage therapist. And we've got Anne here. Anne is joining us from Maine. And she is a collaboration consultant. She says home of the Wabanaki peoples. I'm not sure, I hope I'm saying that right. I love Maine. We used to vacation there every summer. We haven't been in the last couple of years with our girls being small. It's a really long drive from Pennsylvania. It's like 12, 13 hours to the Penobscot Bay area where we like to go. But we miss Maine. We talk about going back. And Tara is here from Calgary in Alberta, Canada, a functional medicine health coach. Awesome, fantastic. Well, I'm so glad all of you are here with me today. I've got a really, I hope it's a really great, I think it's great presentation for all of you. The simple way to create six-figure success. And this whole presentation is based on my framework, which is called the Simple Method. And I know some of you have been on my master classes before, on my webinars before. You've heard me maybe talk about the Simple Method, but I actually just in the last week or so, I've been updating it and upgrading it, making some shifts and changes to make it even more aligned, more powerful. So if this is maybe your second time sitting in on a masterclass with me, know that new stuff is coming your way, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Okay, let's see. If anyone else is just joining us, we've been doing a little get to know you in the chat. Please feel free, add in where you're joining us from, what your business is, and most of your names are popping up. Sometimes it has like your email address or your business name, but pop your name in there too, just so I know who it is, just in case. All right, and everyone said they can hear me. Can everyone hear my, not hear, can everyone see my slides? You shouldn't be able to hear them, but can you see them? Okay, perfect. And we have Batchen Grossman from Israel. Wow, I love that we have an international group here today. A marriage coach for women who are more successful than their husbands. Well, you are in the right place, woman. I think that we've got a lot of ladies in here who are destined to be the breadwinners in their families. And we've got, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but Hilja, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher that. But joining us from the Netherlands, a mom of 4. Whoa, good for you. An MD and a coach. You have got a full life. Thank you so much for making time today to be with us. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's get rolling. I'm so excited that we've got a great group here. We've had, I think, about 115 women signed up for this masterclass. So you ladies are in good company. And I'm going to do my best to keep it to about an hour, maybe a little longer. So just so you have a sense of the time you need to carve out, but we'll get started right now. So we are going to be learning the simple way to create 6-figure success. And this is based upon, as I said, my framework, the simple method. And we're going to talk about how to make 100K in 3 days a week, or honestly, whatever feel-good schedule makes sense for you and your family. So you are in the right place if you have a service-based online business, if you want to streamline and grow that online business without feeling overwhelmed or working 24/7. And if you are coachable, if you're an action taker who would love a simple plan to follow to grow to 6 figures and beyond. Now, this presentation is not for you if you are filled with excuses as to why you'll never create the life and business you want, or if you're going to watch this entire free presentation and then get upset when at the end I share an opportunity to invest in a program that will give you the plan and coaching you need to streamline and grow your business to the 6-figure level. So here is my promise to you. I am going to deliver as much value as possible during this free 60-minute presentation. Nothing that I'm sharing today is based on theory, and everything that I'll be going over has been tested and proven to work for women just like you. So here's what I ask in return. I ask that you please keep an open mind about the new information that I'm sharing with you, that you treat me and the other attendees with respect, which I have no doubt you will with this group here, and that you take notes so that you can implement what you learn right away. I am a big fan of note-taking. It really helps me process information and helps me stay present. So I suggest that you do the same if you're able to do so. So here are some tips for watching. I would highly suggest that you close down other browser tabs if you're on a laptop or desktop or tablet, or extra apps if you're on your phone to increase bandwidth. I would also suggest to go to a quiet room and close the door so that you can devote your full attention to this training. If you've got little kids like me, that might mean hiding in the bathroom. Totally permissible. We will not judge you, but because you're watching this from the bathroom. And also, I suggest that you silence your phone and really just treat yourself to 60 minutes of focused learning. You know, you've already set this on your calendar. You're already here with me. So why not give yourself this time to really absorb this information so you can walk away with some fresh ideas, fresh strategies to really take your business to the next level. So here is the opportunity available to you today. You are going to learn my proprietary methodology for 6-figure success. This methodology, once you understand it, will enable you to streamline your business and optimize your offers so that you can increase profits. You're going to be able to leave behind the hustle mentality and step into flow. You're going to understand the importance of creating a customer journey, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. You're also going to learn what a foundational framework is and why you need one in your own business. We're going to talk about how to embrace the CEO mindset, and you're going to begin to see where you can outsource and automate and eliminate in order to streamline your business. And in the end, all of this will support you in learning how to make 6 figures with ease. No more stress or struggle. things will feel in alignment and really flowing. And saying, foundational framework is exactly what I'm working on this week. Fantastic. Yes, we need this. We need a backbone to support our content and our offers. That's fantastic. I also want to mention right at the top that there is a fast action bonus. This is available for women who take action before the end of this masterclass. When you do that, you're going to receive a complimentary ticket to my Content Planning Made Simple live workshop. And I'm going to tell you all the details about that later on in the presentation, but I wanted to let you know, because I know a lot of people wonder, like, is there some kind of, special thing at the end? And there is for women who take action. So I know a lot of you probably are here because you're on my email list, or maybe listen to my podcast, or are in the 3-Day Workweek Facebook group. But in case you're new to me and my community, I want to share a little bit about myself so you understand my background and why I'm leading this masterclass today. So I'm Cailen Ascher. I've been a business owner for over 10 years. And I am a wife. I'm a mother of 2 young girls. My girls are 6 and 3. I've been a business coach for the last 5 years. And I have a podcast called the 3-Day Workweek podcast. I have been running a 6-figure business since 2016. I have a 3-day work week. I started my 3-day work week when my first daughter was born. So that's 6.5 years ago now. And in that time, I have served over 10,000 women with my coaching and trainings. But it was not always like this. I remember back in the early days, right after I graduated college and was starting out on my entrepreneurial journey, I was really struggling. Most months I was making no money. And on my best months, I was making probably around $2,000. I never knew what would work. It was always just sort of making it up as I went along, kept changing my strategies. I was always distracted by shiny objects. Actually, in the first 7 years of my business, I switched businesses like 3 or 4 times. I was a freelance writer, and then I was a designer, and then I was a yoga teacher, and all over the place. I was filled with self-doubt, really questioning whether or not I had what it took to create and grow a successful business. I remember I was hustling, I was stressed out. At the time, my husband and I, we didn't have kids yet. We were living in a 600 square foot, 1-bedroom cottage. It was really cute, very charming, but definitely not where I pictured raising our family. And, definitely not where we thought we'd want to be forever. And I had to work part-time jobs and bridge jobs and gigs and stuff to pay the bills. I wasn't making enough for my business to pay my bills. Then, as I stepped into my 3-day work week, as I really embraced the framework that I'm going to teach you today, I really harnessed the success within me and became a successful business owner. I'm making 6 figures per year in my business. I've got reliable systems and processes that deliver results. I've got a focused, streamlined business model that feels awesome. Got team members to help me out. I really have a confident CEO mindset now. I think very differently than I used to. That's a huge piece of it. I feel in the flow most all of the time. Now, I'm not a perfect human being. I still have days where I question things or have doubts, but in general, I feel much more in the flow. Now we are living in a really beautiful 5-bedroom home in an area that we love. We have 2 vacation homes, both of which I helped finance with money from my business, and 2 investment properties that we rent out. And I work most weeks less than 15 hours a week. So things are feeling pretty darn good right now. Yeah, people are commenting in the chat. It's all about mindset. It's so true. That is so, so important. And so I wanted to give you this before and after, just so you have a real sense of the path that I've been on and why I'm so passionate about having conversations like I'm going to have today with women like you, because I was right where you are. I remember there was a time when, I was still really struggling to get my business going, and family friends asked my husband, they didn't actually say it to me, when's Cailen going to get a real job? And I remember half of me was hurt and half of me was like, just wait and see. Just wait and see what I'm building here. And, you know, I'm gonna prove to you, I'm gonna prove to myself first and foremost that what I believe is possible. And so here we are. And I am so excited to bring this training to all of you today. So I have a question for all of you now. I would love to know, if you had a step-by-step plan to create six-figure success, how would you feel right now? So pop that into the chat. I want to know, if you had a step-by-step plan to create six-figure success, how would you feel right now? Anne says, empowered. We've got relieved, very confident and powerful. Yeah, this feeling of power. I love it. What else? What else would you feel? Empowered is a great word, Jennifer's saying. Angel would feel amazing. On fire. Yeah, I love it. Ease. Yeah, ease. There's so much to be said for that. Free. Anne's echoing, I like ease. Yeah, these are great. Keep popping them in if you have more. And I'm going to continue on, give you the game plan for where we're heading today. So here's the deal. I'm going to walk you step by step through my newly updated simple method framework. Now, like I said, I know some of you. I recognize some of your names. I know you've been on classes with me before. You might have heard me talk about the simple method, which is my framework, maybe even seen me map some of it out. I have newly updated it, like literally yesterday. I was sitting with it and refining it and tweaking it, adding new elements to it. So this is going to be fresh, the best, newest information you can possibly get. So know that the best stuff is coming your way today. So after, I'm actually going to stop the slideshow, come on camera. I'm going to draw it out on a whiteboard for you. So this would be a really good time to grab a pen and paper, or if you happen to download or print out the worksheet, now would be a great time to grab that. Then I'm going to deep dive into two areas of the framework that often trip people up. So the framework you'll see is robust and complex, not in a confusing way, but just in a nuanced way. And so I really want to make it manageable so you can walk away today having some things that you can implement immediately. So I want to take some time to dive into those two areas that often trip people up so that you can feel supported. And then I'm going to talk about an opportunity to work through the entire framework with my support, my team's support. I'll share a lot more about that. And we're going to finish up with a Q&A. So if you have any questions about the presentation or anything that I share with you, you will have the opportunity to ask your question. So that is the game plan. And we're going to get into the framework now. So I'm going to come back on camera. Oh, and you'll see, I'm sorry, I did not introduce Raven. Raven is my amazing operations director. She's been with me for 4.5 years, and she is sitting in today. She's in the chat, and she's here to support you if you have any questions like, I don't know where the link to the worksheet is, or anything I mentioned that you have a question about while I'm talking, Raven can help you out. So she's in the chat right now, and she just included the link to the worksheet so that you are able to fill it in. Okay, so let me get this set up. And okay, I'm gonna stop the share. And come on camera. Hi. Can everyone see me now? And the board behind me? Okay, awesome. Just let me get this all pulled up so I can see my notes. Perfect. We see you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, perfect. Great. So I'm going to move my water so I don't smack that with my arm. That would be a mess. and get I'm left-handed, so I set this up kind of awkwardly for myself, but that's all right, as long as you guys can see it. So here is, oh, we've got another left-hander. Yes, I know. Most of the time I'm very much excited about being left-handed until I sit next to someone who's like right-handed at a table and you're bumping elbows constantly. So the simple method. So if you have your worksheet printed out, you see the three circles, the three overlapping circles. And if you don't have the worksheet, no big deal. You can easily draw it just as I have. So just three interlocking circles, sort of like a Venn diagram. So there are three quadrants, three foundational pillars to the framework. And I believe there's a space on the worksheet to mark those pillars individually. So the first pillar that we are going to talk about that helps to anchor the simple method framework, that's what this is called, the simple method, is priorities. Priorities. So there are three things that I think are really important when you're starting a business. Three priorities that you have to consider. Those are your mindset. We mentioned that briefly before. Mindset, your schedule, and your goals. Now, here's the thing. Most of the time when I talk to business owners, they want to talk about how to get clients, how to make money, how to improve their sales skills, how to craft a customer journey that links all of their products and programs together in a fluid way so they get lots of happy repeat customers. And that's fantastic. And I love talking about those things and I love teaching those things. But before we do that, before we go there, there's some foundational stuff we need to have in place if we're building a sustainable, scalable six-figure business. And if we don't have our mindset locked and loaded, if our mindset isn't an asset, it is going to constantly be holding us back. And so whenever I coach or run my mastermind or lead a program, I always make sure mindset is a piece of it. It's baked right into my coaching because it's something I find so personally valuable, and it's also been essential in my business journey. And so I would really encourage you, as you think about your goals for 2021, here we are at the top of a new year, thank goodness, that you, if you aren't already, if you think about how to prioritize your mindset, how to build a toolbox for your mindset. And there's three things that we focus on specifically inside my mastermind, and that is really declaring your vivid vision. What is that essential vision, that why for you? What is pulling you forward? What is drawing you forward? You need to get clear on that. You need to release your limiting beliefs. You need to look them straight on, dead in the eye, and acknowledge them for what they are and begin to see the falsehood in them. And you need to build your mindset toolbox. You need to know what works for you when you are in a low place, when you're vibing in kind of a negative space. What works for you to pull you out? Do you need fresh air and a walk outside? Do you like to sit in quiet meditation? Do you need to journal? Do you need to drink a cup of your favorite tea and smell the fragrance? And, you know, whatever it is, it can be something different than you've ever heard before if it works for you. But you need to know what those go-to things are. And so our very first priority is mindset. The next piece is schedule. Schedule is important to me. I love having lots of free time. And that's why I have a 3-day work week. I love spending time with my family. I don't want to be working 24/7. My priorities, using the word, my priorities are very much family first. And so for me, I can't possibly imagine how anyone could march forward and start building a business without first thinking about how they want their lifestyle to look, how they want their schedule to look, how they want to run their business and how that relates to the hours in the day. And so I think it's really important to do, excuse me, an energy inventory. What fills you up? What do you love doing? What don't you like doing? Do you spend lots of time doing? What, do you not have enough time for? And really get a sense of, how is this all shaken out for you? And is it working for you? Explore incremental upgrades. I think it's super important to lean into what you want to create, lean into who you want to become. And so what can you start changing right here and right now that improves your life, improves your business? Why have you been denying yourself the things that you say you want, right? Like those little tiny things. And I know right now the world is a little different. And so maybe if you want massages, maybe you can't get a massage right now, but I'm sure there's little ways to bake in a little bit more self-care if that's what you're needing, or a little bit more time to work on your business if that's what you're needing, or a clear cutoff time. If you're like, I've been working, through dinner into the evening and I don't like that. It's like, okay, well, let's get you stopping work at 5 or 6 o'clock so you don't have that problem anymore. Setting those clear boundaries and upgrading so that you can keep stepping into that woman you want to become. And just flat out designing your ideal work week. What would that look like? Put it down on paper. Create a model calendar so that you can then start to make tweaks and upgrades to how you're currently running things, and start aligning yourself more closely with the schedule that you want, with the business that you want, with the woman that you want to be. Because I personally believe we're here to keep expanding, keep growing, keep learning. And so I like being intentional about it. I like thinking about where I'm going and trying to expand into that in ways that feel good to me. And the last piece is setting growth goals. So these are goals that first and foremost feel good, not a goal you think you should do or what someone else told you is the right thing or the best thing. No, release all that. What feels good? We talk a lot about in the online coaching world about, making 6 figures. And that's fantastic. If that goal speaks to your soul, if that lights you up, if that makes you feel amazing, great. Reach for that, go for that. Give yourself the resources to be supported towards that goal. Maybe that's not what lights you up. Maybe you love thinking about growing your community or developing a solution for your ideal client, whatever it is, however it needs to be packaged so that it works for you. That's fine. Total permission there. I also like to think about, as much as I talk about mindset and how important I think it is truly to feel good and work first and foremost at aligning yourself with a positive energy so that you can function from that place. This isn't about then setting your goals and sitting back and saying, let's see if they come to me. No, we've got to take aligned action. But that's the key word, aligned action. So once we set these goals, we don't sit around and wait for them to happen. We don't complain or get all upset that they're not happening exactly the way we think they should happen, because sometimes something better is coming and we have to leave space for that. But we do need to think about what aligned action steps can we take? What can we do each and every day? Not that you have to work every day, but each and every day that you are working, how can you take a step towards what you want? And sometimes it means moving outside of your comfort zone. Aligned action doesn't mean it always feels easy and amazing. Sometimes it feels charged and exciting and a little scary, but in a good way. But you want to make sure that you are taking that aligned action regularly towards your goals. So that is pillar number 1, priorities. Pillar number 2 in this next quadrant over here is people. So there's, again, 3 things we want to think about with people. So maybe I'll number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so there's 3 things we want to focus on when it comes to people. We want to attract our right clients. Right? Clients are an important piece of this business puzzle. It's a huge focus. We want to develop our foundational framework. You heard me mention that earlier. And we want to connect, and that's an and sign, and close the deal, right? We want to have a connection, but we also want to be making money. We need to close the deal. We need to get those yeses on those sales calls. Oh, good. I was afraid I went off the screen, but it just fits. So, attracting high-end clients. How do we do this? So, you need to know your ideal client like the back of your hand. I know everyone talks about ideal client, and maybe you're turning a bit of a deaf ear right now, but know them as best you can and know that you will know them better. So I'm going to say that again. Know them as best you can right now and know that in time you will know them better. So if you're one of those people who's like, oh, there's always more, like I need to get this better and better and better and make it perfect. Done is better than perfect. So rest on wherever you've landed with your ideal client, but know that there's always more to uncover. And that's why I love still having, consultation calls and things like that, because I'm still learning the nuances of my ideal client. Anytime I do any kind of work with any coach, I've worked with dozens of coaches at this point in my business for myself and been part of, high-level masterminds and all this great stuff. There's always something about ideal clients. And you know what? Every time I do the work, I find out something new. And so keep returning to your ideal client. Keep on finding more stuff out about him or her. And every time you do, let that inform your marketing, your content, your offers to make it better and richer and speak to them more clearly. Also, when it comes to your ideal clients, you want to capitalize on your own strengths to bond with them, to connect with them. So it's also about knowing yourself. Yes, of course, you need to know who your ideal client is so you can have some general direction with your marketing and stuff like that. But you also need to know yourself so that you can show up as yourself. And I have to say, this is a lifelong journey too. I still feel like I am learning how to be more myself, which sounds so silly. It's like, oh, well, just be yourself. But it's hard, right? Like we want to show up in a certain way. We want to be a professional. We want to exude a certain persona so that people respond to us in the way that we want them to respond to us. But when you strip away all those masks and you get more real, that's where the connection is. That's where the bond is. That's why they're going to choose you over someone else, because there's something in you that they see that's real and speaks to them. And so don't be afraid to call yourself out. Like I've been on calls where I've noticed I've got curly hair, and in the summer my hair can be very big. And it's like, oh my goodness, my hair is big today. And like just being a real normal person, I think, and not worrying that that's not enough. That's fine. You're worthy, you're amazing and cool and interesting just as you are. You don't have to build yourself up, and definitely beating yourself down is not going to help anything. And then one other piece with attracting those high-end clients is about speaking their language. And so the only way to speak their language is to have conversations with them. So you really want to listen to how they say the things they say, because then you can start repeating it back to them in everything you do on your sales pages, in your emails, in your Facebook Lives. You can say their exact words, and then they're going to know you listen, you hear them, and you get them. So those are really key pieces that we build into our programs, is help you harness all those intangible things into something that helps you. How can we harness the nuances of our ideal client and our strengths and their language into something that actually works for us? Okay. Now let's talk about, and I see Angel's asking for a repeat. I'm not going to circle back to that right now. Maybe Raven, if you can pop that in, or if not, I can answer it during the Q&A section. The next piece I want to talk about is your framework, your foundational framework. And the framework is so key because it ties everything together. It ties your offers and your content and your messaging and your client journey. All of that is tied together by your framework. Now, if you're brand new in business, this isn't something you want to spend a lot of time on because you're going to be all over the place. But most of you, I would imagine, have been in business some time. You're thinking about making six figures. You're looking to optimize your offers and get clear on your messaging and all of that good stuff. And so having a framework which underscores the work that you do is going to be so clarifying and help you focus tremendously. So once you have a framework, then you can create framework-based offers and framework-based content and map out your whole content calendar based on elements of your framework. And if you're wondering, well, what is a foundational framework? I've never heard someone talk about that. It's exactly what I'm teaching you here today. It's something that ties together all the pieces of what you do into a cohesive methodology. And it doesn't have to look like mine looks. Of course, yours could look different. It could have a different number of steps, a different layout, whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you begin to see how the pieces of what you do are tied together. And sometimes it's really hard to see when you're by yourself. I first started working on my framework under the guidance of a coach because it was hard for me after being in business for 3-4 years to really understand, to see the forest for the trees, right? To remove myself enough to get macro and see the pieces. And so it can be really useful to do this in conjunction with a coach or a mentor or someone who can be a sounding board for you. Now, the next piece is connect and close the deal. So this is all about mastering the art of feel-good selling. And prior to that, really figuring out your organic and authentic marketing strategies. In this online world, it is so attractive and so tempting to think about making everything passive and automated and easy. And I am all about simple and easy. But sometimes a personal touch and organic methods work better, especially when you're selling high ticket, which is what I love teaching people how to do. So you really need to integrate your framework-based content with an authentic and organic marketing strategies. When that meets one another, that's when magic happens. And then we are able to really bring that energy, that clear energy, because we've got our framework and all of our content's based on our framework and our offers are based on our framework. When we get on the call with someone to talk about the program that they're interested in, there's such focused clarity about what you're offering. It feels amazing for you and it feels amazing for them. And inside my mastermind, I teach my Selling Made Simple process. It's an 8-step process that you follow on a sales call. It's a template we give you, and it helps you hear yes so much more often. Your conversion rate goes way up. And we also teach you methods to make money on every call. We almost make a game out of it. How can we make money on every call? Because we talk about how to make aligned offers for whoever you're on the call with. And so selling is a huge piece of the game. And this is another thing. Every high-level coach, these women are making multiple 7 figures a year. There is always a component of working on your sales skills. Even people who are masterful at selling can improve their sales skills. And most of us can always get better, right? Like when I started, I was like not good at all. And now I'm like pretty good, pretty decent, feel pretty confident. But I know there's more for me to learn. And it's kind of exciting to think about that. And so we love bringing that sales know-how into conversations with our clients and our students and really helping them through that. Okay, want to keep moving here and make sure that we're on pace time-wise. So the third pillar of the framework is plan. Plan. Isn't it nice how they're all P's? Priorities, people, and plan. So this is, let's see, we'll do 7, 8, and 9. The first piece of having a really clear plan is to have a customer journey. So what do I mean by that? What is a customer journey? I actually just did a Facebook Live about this yesterday. A customer journey is a map through your content and offers that link it all together. So you know, when hypothetically, when someone opts in with your freebie, then they get this tripwire product, and then you would want to move them to this entry level program, and then you'd want to pitch them on your high ticket item, so that there's this path for them. Mapping out your customer journey is a fantastic way to build in repeat business. And if you haven't heard it yet, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't heard it yet, repeat clients are the best and easiest clients to get, because they already know you, they already like you, they already trust you, they've already paid you. You don't need to convince them, right? Like, hopefully you're not convincing people to buy stuff from you, but there's less of a hurdle to get them to the yes, because they've already seen behind the curtain. They already kind of know what it's all about. So you want to build a customer journey that encourages people to stay engaged, to stay activated, to keep moving along and stay with you, to continue to work with and grow with you specifically, that you anticipate their needs. And you do that by defining the phases of your ideal client. This is next level stuff. This is the stuff we teach in my mastermind. The phases of your ideal client. Yes, first we need to know that singular individual, but then you begin to see that there's an arc, a journey that she goes through or he goes through. And when you can start aligning your content and your offers with different points on those phases of the ideal client, that's when it really syncs up and comes together. Because the moment they complete a phase with your program number 1, they're ready for phase 2 with program number 2, and then they're ready for phase 3 with program number 3. And this isn't about creating 57 phases and 57 programs, but probably you'll have 2, 3, or 4 phases and 2, 3, or 4 programs over time as you build this out. And that is how you build a sustainable, scalable, 6-figure plus business, by anticipating the needs of your customers. And when you have your framework, when you have the phases of your ideal client, when you have a defined client journey, by the way, all 3 of those things are things we teach in our mastermind, then you are able to anticipate and know the consistency of your business, anticipate the revenue, anticipate when the money's coming in, when the clients are coming in. It becomes more regular, more consistent, more stable, and more scalable. Okay, so that's, I didn't even write it down. Customer journey. Customer journey. Okay, the next piece is to expand your capacity. Expand your capacity. So this is all about looking inside the business to where you can streamline. Because the more you can automate, delegate, and eliminate, the more you expand for possibilities to come through, for new opportunities, new clients, new money, new ideas, new connections, new collaborations, even new changes to the business model. But because if you're so, blinders on in the work every day, doing all the things, you're never going to have the space for those growth pieces to occur. And so expanding your capacity is about, maybe thinking about hiring your first team member, or maybe your next team member, if you already have maybe a VA or something like that. How can you really streamline your workflow, start developing some systems, some SOPs, standard operating procedures? How can you really take things off your plate so that you can be more in your zone of genius, doing more of the things you love. Good stuff, right? And the last piece is to create your growth plan. So your growth plan, this is where you get to step back and think about the long-term vision for your business. Like, yeah, okay, you're doing these things right now, but next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, where do you want to be? So that you can start making decisions today in alignment with that future you. This is also a place where we think about our CEO mindset. Now, in the beginning, we want to just make sure the mindset blocks are, minimized and we're moving forward. But CEO mindset is really about upgrading. Like, okay, here I'm vibing pretty good, feeling good most of the time, but how can we get to that next level? How can I think about how to run my business like a 7-figure entrepreneur? What would I be doing if I was making that amount of money? Just really blowing it out of the water, expanding the way we're thinking, the way we're feeling, the way we're doing things. And honestly, this kind of growth, this kind of next level stuff where you really feel unlocked and like you just see things differently is, I've found for my own personal experience, best facilitated within a group setting where you're surrounded by other women who are doing the same sort of work, are thinking really big and are pace setters. They're pushing themselves in a really healthy way to think beyond the way they've thought before. And the last thing I want to mention here with your growth plan is about committing to consistency. Commit to consistent, aligned action. I mentioned aligned action earlier, and that when we were talking about goals. And it's so key. The number one thing I credit my success to is that I was consistent. I kept showing up. It's like, even when I had moments where I could have, or maybe even in some people's eyes should have given up, I didn't. I dusted myself off, maybe cried a little bit, and got back up. And that's why I'm here today talking to you about this, because that's what it takes. And so that piece of committing to the consistency is crucial. You need to almost sign a contract with yourself and say, I am in this. Come hell or high water, I'm in this business. I'm going to make it work. Yeah, and I saw people have been, let's see, Angel saying, yes, high ticket, definitely the way to go. And Amy saying proximity is so powerful, so true. Yes, it is for sure, Amy. Okay, so let me see if there's something. Oh, I know also what I wanted to do here. I want to show you, there's these little overlapping quadrants. Let me use a different color. Let's use green. Oh, that green doesn't work very well, does it? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try this one. If not, we'll just stick with black. Kind of, right? You kind of see it? I don't know. So those quadrants anyway, those are the ones we're talking about. I'm going to switch back to the black. Where your priorities, this is cool, watch this. Where your priorities overlap with people, this is where you harness and you are acting in your purpose. Where your priorities, your mindset, schedule, goals, where that overlaps with your clients and your offer and your framework, that's when you're in your purpose. Isn't that nice? When your people overlap with your plan, so when your clients, your framework, your sales skills overlap with your customer journey, you expanding your capacity and growing into the future, that is where you find your profit. Money, woohoo. And the last one, and it's a P, I bet you guessed that. You're probably guessing in your head what P it could be. Where your plan overlaps with your priorities. So where all of these big picture things overlap with these foundational things, your mindset, your schedule, your goals, that is where you have and find your power. And in my accelerator, my entry-level program, it's a 90-day program, we really focus on these first 2 quadrants. We want to make sure that people are feeling anchored in their mindset, their schedule, their goals, who their clients are, what their offer is, how to sell to them. Like the first steps in creating an online business. For people who are at that next level, who have that generally figured out, where we really focus in my mastermind, which is called Uplifted, is in this final quadrant. We do some work in framework to make sure this is solid over here, but then we talk about customer journey. We talk about how to expand your capacity. We talk about your growth plan. So because we really want to support you in your profit and your power. In the first program, it's more about like finding your purpose, getting clarity on your purpose, and yeah, making some money, hopefully. But in the mastermind, it's really about harnessing these quadrants, the profit and power quadrants. It's really fun. I love teaching on that. Okay, so that is the conclusion of the visual, Vanna White portion. I'm going to turn the video off and go back to slides. So just hang tight for a sec while I do that. And we're going to have Q&A at the end. So just if you have questions, make sure you jot them down and we'll do Q&A at the end of the presentation. Okay, let me get myself situated back at my desk. Okay, and oh my, I was moving my mouse. I was like, it's going in the wrong way. My mouse was upside down. Okay, I'm gonna go off camera just so that you can focus on the slides. I'm gonna stop my video. All right, so here you can see the framework again. There we go. The simple method. And now we'll move on to, I want to deep dive into 2 areas. The first area I want to talk about is up-leveling to CEO. And the reason I want to talk about this is because we often, after we've been in business for a couple years, we've been making some money, getting some clients, we kind of hit a plateau. At least I know I did. And a lot of the women who join me in my mastermind feel the same way. And when we hit this plateau, we're sort of like, well, how do I get off of this? Do I increase my prices? Do I work more hours? Do I create a new offer? What needs to happen? And the truth is, the first thing that needs to happen is that you need to power up your CEO mindset. You need to read a book that inspires you. You need to listen to podcasts that get you jazzed. You need to maybe think about investing in a new coach or a mastermind or a mentorship or something that gets you thinking differently, because you can't keep doing and thinking the way you are now and expect different results. I'm sure you've heard some version of that before. And so we really want to think about, if we want to grow our business, we first need to grow our mindset. And stepping into that CEO mindset is so important. I want to give you an example. So this is Joanne. So Joanne is a life and business coach, and she was a member of my Uplifted Mastermind, and she was feeling blocked around charging more for her high-level offers. Even though her clients got amazing results and they loved her, she was feeling blocked around raising her prices. So she prioritized her CEO mindset. She defined a clear customer journey. I'm hoping this stuff is sounding familiar now that we've talked through the framework. And then it unlocked for her. She sold 43 tickets to her virtual event. 43 tickets. It's amazing. And after that, she went on to enroll. Last I talked to her, it was shortly after the event. She enrolled 5 high-end clients, and she had a few more waiting in the wings. Now she has crossed the 10K a month milestone and is feeling confident and on track with all of her 2021 goals. Really awesome. All right, so now this is the next piece I want to share with you. And this is about attracting those high-end clients. And this actually brings together two pieces of the framework, because in order to attract those high-end clients, after you've sort of established who your ideal client is, the next thing that's going to activate them, the next thing that's going to really unleash your potential and help you increase revenue and profits is creating your customer journey. And this is something that we talk through in depth in my Uplifted Mastermind. I love helping people craft this, figuring out what are the right offers at the right time for the right phase of ideal client. But creating your customer journey is really going to take things to the next level. Reason being is that you probably worked with some amazing clients who love you and trust you and would love the opportunity to work with you again. But when you don't have a customer journey defined, sometimes they fall off, they fall away. It's like we don't have a place for them to land. And so we wind up not offering them anything. If you can figure out how to create a sticky customer experience that keeps people engaged in your content and in your offers and makes them excited about what you've got coming up, you can create lifelong customers, happy repeat clients, and a thriving business of people who keep coming back for more because they love you and what you've got to offer so very much. Plus, they just feel like you totally anticipate their needs, which is so awesome, right? Like, who doesn't love that? Where the second you're sort of feeling like you need the support, someone shows up and is like, this is the support you need. You feel like they're reading your mind. Okay, so I want to give you an example of this. So this is Malika. Malika is a photographer and brand strategist. And when she joined my mastermind, Uplifted, she felt like all of her offers were disjointed, that they didn't have a flow. So consequently, she was feeling scattered and confused about how to grow her business, because she does brand photography where she's actually, in the studio or on site taking photographs, but she also has courses and programs to help people teach people how to develop their brand. So she felt so disjointed. After defining the phases of her ideal client, which I've mentioned a couple times now, and mapping out her customer journey, she now has a business model that supports her growth goals. She easily enrolled 5 new members into her high ticket membership that costs hundreds of dollars a month, and has several women lined up for her new mastermind. And the mastermind was actually something that she developed while in my mastermind, Uplifted. She was looking for a next place for her clients to go. And this is really what they were asking for. And so we mapped that out together, and she already has lots of people excited about joining that program. So this is, just proof right here. Malika is such a great example of it, and she had a successful business before. She's making money, but she felt scattered. And when you feel scattered, you don't feel successful. Now she feels clear and confident and on track with everything she had been picturing for herself. So I've got a question now. I would love to know, what is your number one takeaway so far? Please share it in the comments. I want to make sure that everything is landing for you, and I'd love to know what your top takeaway is so far from the presentation. And also, as you're typing it in, make sure that the little blue drop down is set to panelists and attendees. That way, not only I can see it, but everyone else here can too, so that everyone can see the responses. Getting clarity on my customer journey and aligning my offers. Yeah, I love that. I'm so glad that resonated. Melissa said, you validated something for me earlier around ideal client and niches, getting on consults. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad to hear that. Katie said, I need to expand capacity for my growth. Yes, we need to constantly be doing that. Sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming to constantly be on this growth path, but honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Tanya said, a good nugget for your clients that make you really add value is above expectations, creating value. Yeah, exactly. Angel says, attracting the right clients. I got my niche down oh, I have to niche down my ideal client. Yes, I totally hear you on that. Sometimes we cast too broad a net, and then we realize, like, hey, no one is resonating, no one's responding, and it's because we're trying to speak to too many people. These are great takeaways. If anyone else has anything they want to share, feel free to pop them in as I move on. I'd be happy to circle back in a minute. Okay. Let me grab the next slide. So I wanted to tell you about, I mentioned at the top of the presentation that I wanted to talk more about an opportunity to be supported through this entire framework. And that is by exploring my Uplifted Mastermind. Now, this mastermind is carefully curated. We accept no more than 12 women. And it's for women who are established business owners making at least $2,000 a month in their business. And they want clarity and confidence. They want to develop that proprietary framework that ties together all of their content and offers. They love the idea of creating a sticky customer journey, as we were talking about. They want to monetize untapped segments of their audience and list to make more money and increase profits. They want to establish reliable systems and scalable processes to carry them to 6 figures and beyond. They are excited to hire team members to support them so they can stop doing the stuff they don't want to do. They're ready to step into the role of CEO in their business. And they are driven, they're coachable, they have a big vision for their life and business, and they are so ready to go after it. And so I want to tell you a little bit more about the nuances and the details of Uplifted Mastermind. You heard me talk about it off and on throughout the presentation today. And as I said, inside the mastermind, we walk you through this entire framework that I just shared with you today from top to bottom, with a special focus on the development of the framework, crafting the customer journey, creating a sticky customer experience, and expanding your capacity with that CEO mindset and creating a growth plan for the future. So let's talk about some of the other details. So what do you get? What's inside? You get 4 months of coaching and step-by-step trainings. We've got weekly group coaching calls, private business coaching with me and my team, access to in-house coaches. I think it's really important when you're joining a mastermind. Of course, you know there's going to be other members, but there's also other coaches supporting you. I'm the lead coach. I take the head of the mastermind and the content, but I love bringing in support people. I have a copy coach, a tech coach, a money coach, a mindset coach, because I think when you're joining a group like this, it's really important to incorporate different perspectives and women with different expertise. And we also have virtual co-working and coffee meetups. This is actually a brand new thing that we're including for this next round, because our last group was asking for more time together, which I just think is so awesome. That was something all of them shared. They're like, we wish we could have even had more time together. And so we're going to be developing some ways to connect the members even more deeply, virtual co-working and coffee meetups. And we also pair everyone with an accountability partner within the group. We also have 2 virtual retreats. We've got a mastermind kickoff day at the top of the mastermind. It's a 1-day event, and then a 2-day virtual retreat about midway. These are a fantastic time for us to connect as a group, for me to really get deep into the nuances of my own business and share a peek behind the curtain there and give you a sense of the inner workings. And we also love bringing in guest speakers at our retreats too, just again, to bring in more viewpoints and more support for our members. We have a private member portal, which is where we house all of our replays, all of our resources, additional trainings, and any helpful stuff that our members need. It's right there, so you can log in 24/7 and access it. We also have a private Slack community. If you're not familiar with Slack, I'm sure most of you have probably heard about it, but it's basically like a Facebook group, but it's very organized. So there's different areas for different types of conversations based on what you need. If you want mindset support or goals or whatever, we've got all different sort of categories, and we're able to have conversations there above and beyond our group coaching and our retreats and the private coaching and all of that. And it's also a great place for you to connect and receive feedback and support from the other members and your accountability buddy too. And as I mentioned, one of the things we really prioritize and are proud of is that we give a look inside my own business. And this is something that all of our members really love and appreciate and thank us for, is the transparency that we bring to the table. So we give you an inside look at launches as they come out. We give you an inside look at the year by year of my business, sort of where I started, what offers I was selling each year, how I grew my business, the things I changed and tweaked and let go of, how I created my customer journey, what the customer journey looks like now. I could go on, but I won't. But you get a really in-depth look. So I know sometimes at least for me, like I take a program and I want to know sort of like, this program's great and I love all the theories that are being shared, but I want to know how this person who created the program is doing things. I want to look under the hood, and we do that for our mastermind members. And that's another reason why we carefully curate this group, is because we are sharing this really, really sensitive and valuable information with them. There we go. There's the next slide. And there are some special bonuses that are available right now. We have call times available this week and next week to chat more about the mastermind. And when you book a call today, and we'll see if, Raven, if you could pop the mastermind chat link into the Zoom chat, that would be awesome. When you book a call today, upon enrollment, you're going to unlock 2 bonus startup calls. So these calls are fantastic because they are designed to set you up for success right from the start. We are going to share tips and strategies about how to get the most out of the mastermind, and also connect you with the other members early on so that you're able to start collaborating and receiving support. So Raven just put in the chat the book a call link, and obviously on this call, it just goes without saying, or maybe it doesn't go without saying, but this is not a call to convince you to join the mastermind. This is a call if what I'm sharing lit up something within you and you're curious and interested and feeling like this might be the right next step, and you want some more information, you want more time with me. This is a time for us to make sure we're a mutually good fit, for me to share even more details about the program than I'll be doing for the balance of our time together, and take the time we both need to evaluate if it's the right next step. So like I said, you'll unlock these bonus startup calls when you book a call today, and if and when you enroll. These will be unlocked for you. And we also have that fast action bonus that I mentioned. When you book a chat with me today, this will be unlocked for you upon enrollment. You'll get a free ticket to my Content Planning Made Simple live workshop. Now, this live workshop is going to be so useful because we're going to support you in mapping out a content plan for the next couple of months, probably the first quarter or so, based upon sort of your driving signature offer. So whatever it is you're hoping to launch or sell or focus on, we're going to help you map out a content strategy around it so that you get more clients, a bigger response, and make more money. So this content planning workshop is going to be really a valuable addition to the mastermind. And it's going to be co-led by me and my operations director, Raven, who I mentioned a couple times, but she's in the chat here. She actually just dropped the link to book a call in the chat. And we're going to lead that together because I handle some aspects of our content planning and Raven handles other aspects. And it's sort of the two of us together that make it happen. And so I think it's going to be really valuable having both of us there to lead you through it. Now I want to introduce you to some of the amazing women who have participated in the mastermind over the years. This is just a very small handful of the dozens of women who have participated at this point. We've had 4 cohorts over the last few years, and this next round, this will be our 5th cohort. And I have to say, each and every time, we really do make it better because we ask our members what they love, what they need, what they got out of it, what they'd love to see next time, and we build it in. We improve it each and every time. So this is Amanda. Amanda was a member of Uplifted Mastermind, and she is the founder of Indigo Organizing. She is, like a home organizer. She was certified in KonMari under Marie Kondo herself. Are all of you fangirling now? She was trained by Marie Kondo herself. She is a mom, she's a wife, and she's a sought-after speaker. She was recently featured in Philadelphia Style magazine. Now, Amanda, she had some really interesting challenges in the mastermind because she's used to working in home with people. And so one of the things that we did is we worked together to create some online options. And she started leading workshops and speaking to groups and corporations. And so that was really an amazing opportunity for her because corporations started paying her multiple thousands of dollars to speak to their employees about organization. So that was a fantastic thing when the pandemic hit for her to do this really amazing pivot and keep growing her business. This is Brandy. Brandy is the founder and CEO of Savvy Clover Coaching, and she helps solopreneurs learn the skills they need to build multi-6 and 7-figure businesses. When Brandy was a member of Uplifted Mastermind, she zeroed in on her ideal client. She defined her customer journey and started hosting workshops that attracted her right people to her. So she identified that her people loved workshopping, and that was a great place to connect with them. And so when she first started her business, it was so that she could leave her full-time healthcare job and be more with her family. And now her business is taking off. I follow her on Instagram, and she is up to so many amazing, cool things, awesome collaborations, cool programs. She's just doing great things in the world. It's really cool to see. I'm gonna grab a little sip of water as we continue. Now, this is Carolina. Carolina is a certified life and transformation coach who helps powerful women make alcohol insignificant in their lives. So since joining Uplifted Mastermind, she has quit her full-time job. She signed a book deal with HarperCollins. She sold out her one-on-one coaching. She launched a new group program and filled that, and is having consistent 10K months. And when she started the mastermind, she was making between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. And this is a 4-month mastermind. It's not like she was in our mastermind for 2 years. She did this really quickly and adeptly. And when I talked to her about what was the biggest shift for her, she said it was the CEO mindset, that she felt like something unlocked within her, and this amazingness just unfolded for her. And yes, I mean, she said she was feeling a lot more flow now. It of course took that aligned action like we were talking about, but to see her amazing growth, it just was like a springboard. And I was so happy and proud that she was a part of Uplifted Mastermind when this amazing transformation occurred. Okay, so we're going to move into Q&A now. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes just to make sure that we conclude by, I said we might go 90 minutes, so we'll definitely conclude by that point. I'm going to get that timer going. And before I do that, though, I just have all the pieces here of the mastermind, and the link to book a chat is at the bottom here. It is also in the Zoom chat. It's cailenascher.com/mastermind chat. And when you enroll, or when you book a call rather, today, that will unlock for you upon enrollment the Content Planning Made Simple workshop and those 2 bonus startup calls. So the startup calls are valued at $500. The content planning workshop is valued at $500. That's $1,000 extra of value and support and coaching. Plus those startup calls are in January and February before we officially get rolling in the mastermind. So it's a great sort of booster as you step into it. Also, in the mastermind, you're getting 4 months of coaching and support to help you optimize your offers and set up simple systems to grow your business to 6 figures. You get private coaching, group coaching, guest speakers, the Slack group, tons of support, 2 virtual events, plus those coffee and co-working sessions that we're going to have regularly, and the members only portal that has resources, replays, swipe copy, additional trainings, so much good stuff there. So if you're interested in talking to me about what this could look like for you and your business, I would absolutely love the opportunity to hop on a call. I've got times tomorrow and next week. And like I said, this call is really about exploring if we're a mutually good fit. In general, we accept only about 50% of women who we chat with into the group, because we do highly curate it. We cap it at 12 women. So this is really if this is speaking to your heart and you're feeling like it's a good fit, take that step forward. The very least, we'll have a nice conversation, and at the most, we'll be able to step into this amazing experience together. Okay, so I want to take some questions now. I'm going to start the timer. Here we go. If you have questions for me, feel free to pop them in the chat. I also think I have some here that were pre-submitted. All right, like I said, if you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat box now. When does the mastermind start? Great question. The mastermind officially starts in March, but as I mentioned, we have our startup calls and our live content planning workshop in January and February. So we're giving ourselves a nice runway of time. So the 4-month mastermind, which runs from March to June, essentially becomes more like a 6-month mastermind when you talk to me now and enroll early, because we have those support pieces for you in place in January and February. So we find that most of our members really love getting in early because they get that additional support. Any other questions? Feel free to pop them in the chat. It can be about the mastermind or about the presentation. Either is fair game. Katie's asking, how often do you offer the masterminds? March is the first one. When's the next one? So we offer them twice a year, usually. Our March group will conclude in June, and our next group will probably start September time. That's the plan as of right now. Angel says, the mastermind isn't for me as I haven't launched my business yet. Do you have programs for beginners? Yes, I do, Angel. The perfect place for you to land would be inside our Success Made Simple Accelerator. The accelerator is for women who want to establish their signature offer as it relates to their ideal client, get more clarity on that, make sure they're really starting the right business. We give you some initial training on having sales calls and how to market. So I think that would honestly be the best fit for you. We're going to be opening that next month. So maybe Raven, if you can either connect with Angel or just even take her name down, get her email address, we can add you to the wait list for that, Angel, if that feels like a better fit. Nadine's asking, how much is the investment for the mastermind? Yes, I totally hear you on that. I like talking about the investment on our call. What I will say is that when I tell people it, they often say it's far less than they're expecting. And in terms of the return on investment, what our goal is that you make your investment back in the first month or two in the mastermind. So we always work with our clients to make sure that there's, a payment plan that makes sense for you, or if you want to pay in full and get that, energetically cleared out of the way, whatever works. But we really evaluate our members to make sure that they're in a place in their business to successfully step into the mastermind and make their investment back and then some when they enroll. So without knowing kind of where you're at in your business, Nadine, and all the details of that, it might be harder to figure out that piece for you. But if it's something you're interested in, I would really recommend that we have a chat, and then we can make sure that it's feeling like a good fit in all ways, because the investment is important and we want that to feel good, but also want to make sure it feels right in all the ways. Let's see, who else? Sure, of course. Anka saying, would you suggest to book a call with you? We are not sure if this is the right time to move forward. I am already in a different mastermind until March, so this may be more suitable later in the year. Definitely book a call, Anka. I mean, I talk to a lot of women who are interested and they're not quite sure on the timing. And I think the best way for us to navigate that is figure it out on the call together, and figure out, would the March start feel too rushed? Is the September start better? But while we have this connection and this momentum right now, I'd say book a call. I'd love to chat with you, and we'll take it from there. If I already have a 6-figure business, but want to start online products and services to attract new clients, would it be a good fit for me? Also, the objective is to stop feeling overworked and redesign the business to fit my dream life. Yeah, I think, is that Group Blanchard? Is that you, Katie? I think it's you. Yeah, I think it would be really valuable to have a conversation. I actually have a lot of women who, over the years, who have joined the mastermind because they are in transition. They're going from in-person to online, or maybe done for you to coaching, and they need some help navigating that. Online business is a new skill set in a lot of ways. There is crossover from doing like in-person services. Oh, it's not Katie, but it's the same question. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so what I've found is that being in a container of women who are really primed and ready for scaling their online business, it's so valuable for those individuals who are in transition. So I'm not Group Blanchard. I don't know if that's the name of your business or if that's your name, but either way, if it's feeling like you have some questions and the mastermind's intriguing you, I would really suggest that we get on a call, because then you can share a lot more about your specific situation. And I will very honestly tell you if I think you're a good fit or not. I don't honestly want people in my group who aren't a good fit, because it affects the vibe and the feel of the mastermind. And so sometimes I get on the call with people, and it's about really evaluating for both of us if it's a good fit. But my feeling is if you're looking to start online programs and services, it would be worth having the conversation. Genevieve. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I know I always feel so funny when I see names in the chat, and I'm like, I don't know if that's your name or your business name. Yeah, if anyone else has any other questions, let me know. We've got a couple more minutes left. How much one-on-one coaching is included? Great question. So over the 4 months, you get 4 private coaching sessions. And the cool thing is that you get a session with me, you get a session with Raven, who's my operations director. She's also our tech coach. You get, and you get 2 sessions with guest coaches, people who come in. We've got a mindset coach, a cash flow coach, a copy coach. And so you're able to get time with at least 2 of them. Most of the time, by the end of it, it's normally about 5 or 6 sessions that we line you up with, because we shower the love and the support on you. But it's a minimum of those 4 private coaching sessions, which honestly, with the Slack group and the weekly group calls and the co-working sessions and the events, we find that a lot of our members, they almost forget about the one-on-one coaching. They're like, here we are in month 3 and I need to book in my calls because I've been feeling so supported and taken care of in the other platforms. Keep the questions coming. I'm happy to answer questions about the presentation or about the mastermind. Either work. Got a few minutes left. I want to make sure we make highest and best use of our time. What happens on the group coaching calls? Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, so there's a few different formats to the group calls depending on what we're tackling that week. There are optimization calls with me. That's like a training call where I teach you how to optimize your offers or optimize your customer journey, or optimize. We have like an optimize your future call where we develop a growth plan. So that's really about me teaching you something. That's one format. Another format is our CEO club call. This is a really cool feature. Oh, no problem, Katie. Yeah, book a call. I'd love to chat with you. So the CEO club is where you are on a call with the other members of the mastermind. I'm not on that call. The other coaches aren't on that call. We usually have like a facilitator pop on and get things rolling, but we provide you with an icebreaker, with conversation starters, and it's an opportunity for you to be supported by the other members. You are going to want to take advantage of these calls because the group is rich with amazing women. They are in diverse businesses with diverse backgrounds, and there's so much wealth and knowledge within the group. I don't want every single call to just be talking your ear off. I want you to tap the knowledge and the wealth within the group. So that is a great opportunity. Melissa's saying, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for the presentation. I'll be following up shortly. Fantastic. Aloha to you as well. Okay, so we covered the optimization call, the CEO club call, hot seat call. This is a coaching call. This is where I make time, and this is another reason why we keep the group small, is because on that call, we give members, each and every member, time on the hot seat to get coached, to ask their questions, to be supported by me and the group. So this is a really valuable time. If you've got questions and you want real-time support, real-time answers, the hot seat call is great. Yeah, Amy's in the chat. Amy's been sitting in. She is a mastermind member of our recent cohort, and she said she loves the hot seat calls. Yay, I'm so glad to hear it. And then the fourth format of call is the guest training call. So this is when we have a guest expert or a guest coach come in and speak on their area of expertise. So we've had sales page copy calls where you're trained on how to create the copy for your sales page. We've done tech trainings where, we'll map out. I love helping you map out your customer journey, but then Raven will come in and help you figure out how to build out your customer journey with like automations and software and all of that stuff. Mindset coaches, we have, people come in. We had a hypnotherapist, which is really cool. And we also have a cash flow coach who talks about profit first and money mindset and all of that really valuable stuff that you need to think about as you step into your CEO role in your business. So we've got 4 types of calls: optimization call with me, that's a training call, the CEO club call, the hot seat call, and the guest expert call. So we've got 4 different types. We cycle through those for the duration of the mastermind. Plus we've got our 2 virtual retreats, which are just a really great experience too. All right, what other questions can I answer? I know there's still a nice handful of you here on the call. Happy to answer a couple last minute questions if you have any. What is the main thing you focus on inside the mastermind? Yeah, masterminds often have different focuses, right? It's like, this one's all about building out your evergreen funnel, and this one's all about capitalizing on Facebook groups and ad strategy. The main thing that we focus on, our special focus, is on mapping out that customer journey based on your foundational framework. A lot of the women who come to us are feeling scattered. They feel like they've hit a plateau in their business. It's like, I don't know how to make more money without working more hours, and they're just kind of feeling blocked. Mapping out your customer journey and creating that customer journey based on that foundational framework, both of those things we support you in, this enables our members to create a cohesive customer experience and create a flow of repeat clients in their business. So this enables you to immediately tap into a source of revenue and profit, because these repeat clients are often like ready and waiting in the wings. We also teach how to tap into unmonetized segments of your list and audience, because we train you in defining those phases of your ideal client, which this also is tied to that foundational framework, because once you know sort of the framework you're moving people through, you understand the different places and steps that people need to meet along the way. You understand the phases of your ideal client. All of that, the framework, the customer journey, the phases of the ideal client, that's underscored by mindset support and tech support and trainings in sales to simplify that process for you. And we've mapped all of it out in a really simple, easy to follow format inside the mastermind. We guide you through it on the group calls with worksheets and some, simple homework tasks, and really make it as easy as possible for you to implement the steps so that you are able to streamline your business, optimize your offers, embrace that CEO role, and next level your profit and revenue and results in your business. Okay, I think time just went, or maybe it did a few minutes ago and I was still yammering away. I had such a great time leading you all through this training today. I hope many of you are feeling excited about Uplifted Mastermind. It really is a very special program. Our members are amazing, and I would welcome the opportunity to talk to any of you who are feeling like it's a good fit on the phone, so that we can evaluate if it truly is a good fit for you. These are not pushy sales calls. That's not my vibe, in case you can't get that already. So I don't want anyone to feel scared to talk to me, even if you're like, I'm not sure if March is the right time. Timing can feel scary sometimes, and I'll help you through that. I'll help you evaluate, is it the fear keeping you away from the March start date, or is it because it just actually doesn't make sense with your lifestyle or your business or your family or whatever? But if it's feeling like a good fit, if this program is speaking to you, if it feels like it's a right next step for you and your business, I would 100% encourage you to book a call and join me for a conversation to explore and get your questions answered. I know there's a group of you still here. You're not asking any questions. Here, I'm going to come back on video. But I know that sometimes we don't want to ask our questions in front of a group and have the person answer it in front of everyone. And so the call is also a time for you to think about the questions you have and have me answer them privately and directly and specifically for you and your business, because on that call, I'll be asking you some questions too to learn more about your business and your goals and your vision, so that we can make sure it's a mutually good fit. And I would love that. I'd love to talk with you. Okay, I think that's everything. I wanted to cover. I got through, I think, all of the questions. I'm going to do a quick scroll. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for carving out an hour and a half of your day. I know it's not always an easy thing to do when you're a business owner and maybe a mom, or still have a full-time job, or whatever else is going on in your life. I really appreciate you spending this time with me and showing up for this training. I hope it was really valuable. I hope it was inspiring. I hope you're leaving feeling uplifted, to use the name of my mastermind. It's kind of corny, right? But thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. And I really do hope that I have the opportunity to speak with many of you. That would be so fun for me. All right, take care. I've got to find on my screen how to close it. I think I found it. All right, bye guys.